The ocean. It covers more than 70% of our planet. It's this vast, churning wilderness that holds more mysteries in its depths than we can even begin to imagine. We think we know it, but honestly, we've only just skimmed the surface. Today, we're going deeper into the stories the ocean tried to swallow whole.
Okay, let's just sit with that for a second. This one line, it perfectly captures the brutal, beautiful indifference of the sea. It's not some stage for human drama. Nope. It's a force of nature that consumes our stories, leaving behind nothing but silence and a whole lot of questions. And it's those questions we're digging into today. So, we're going to start with the classics, those chilling tales that have haunted sailors for generations. And these aren't just spooky stories you tell around a campfire. They feel more like warnings, written in the wakes of ships that, well, that just plain vanished. Take the Carol A. Deering, for instance. Back in 1921, this massive five-masted schooner was found slammed aground on Diamond Shoals. Get this, all her sails were set. There was a meal prepared and waiting on the galley stove. But the crew? Vanished. Gone. The only living soul they found on board was a six-toed cat. What on earth happened to them is still one of the biggest, most enduring mysteries of the sea.
I mean, a ghost ship with only a cat on board is strange enough, right? But our next tale, oh man, this one adds a whole new layer of absolute horror. I'm talking about the legend of the SS Orang Medan. It's a story so terrifying, you'll swear it couldn't possibly be true. Just imagine, you're a radio operator in the middle of the night, and this starts crackling over the wire. It's a distress call that just falls apart into a death rattle right in your ears. And after that final, chilling transmission, nothing, just silence. A nearby merchant ship, the Silver Star, heard the call and raced to the coordinates. And what the crew of the Silver Star found? Well, it was a floating tomb. Every single person, right down to the ship's dog, was dead. Their bodies were sprawled out, their faces locked in this state of pure, absolute terror, eyes wide open, arms outstretched like they were fighting off some invisible horror. And the weirdest part? No signs of violence, no injuries whatsoever. Just before they could tow the ghost ship to port, a fire suddenly broke out below deck. The whole thing exploded and then sank, taking all of its secrets right down to the bottom.
Okay, so here's the kicker. For all the vivid, horrifying details of this story, there's a huge problem. There are zero official records. Nothing. No registration for a ship named the Orang Medan. The Silver Star's logs have no mention of any rescue attempt. So what gives? Is it just a perfectly crafted scary story told by sailors? Or is it evidence of a cover-up so complete it literally erased a ship from history? All right, so we go from a ship full of dead men to a lighthouse with no men at all. We're heading to December of 1900 on the super remote Flannan Isles off the coast of Scotland, where a lighthouse, a beacon of safety and order, just went dark. The way this whole mystery unfolds is just filled with this building sense of dread. First, a passing ship noticed the light was out, which is a huge deal. Then, a nasty storm rolls in, so no one can even get out there to check on it for over a week. When the relief ship finally arrives, the scene is just eerie. The flag isn't flying, the supply boxes aren't waiting on the dock like they should be. After firing flares and blowing whistles with no response, one guy, Joseph Moore, has to go ashore all by himself to face whatever's waiting inside.
And inside, the mystery just gets deeper. It's not a scene of violence, but of some sudden, bizarre interruption. There's a meal left half-eaten. A chair is knocked over like someone jumped up in a huge hurry. And this is the detail that just blows my mind. One of the three keepers had left his heavy, weatherproof oilskins behind. Basically a suicide move in the middle of a brutal North Atlantic winter storm. And here it is, the strangest clue of all. The final entries in the lighthouse logbook describe this crazy, unprecedented storm. They talk about severe winds and how one keeper, the toughest guy out of three, was actually weeping in fear. The problem? Weather records for those exact days show the sea was calm. The storm, it seems, might have been entirely inside their own heads. The three men were never seen again. Ghost ships? Phantom storms? Vanishing keepers? I mean, these are the stories that give the ocean its dark, mysterious allure, right? They tap into our deepest fears of the great unknown. But this is where we're going to take a sharp turn. Seriously, think about it. Are the real horrors buried in some dusty old logbooks and maritime legends? Or are we, right now, in our time, writing a brand new, far more real horror story for the oceans, one that we might not be able to come back from. To really get what's at stake here, you have to appreciate the sheer scale of it all. We get obsessed with ghost ships on the surface, but the real ocean is a world of crushing pressure and total darkness. This number, negative 11,000 meters, is the depth of the Mariana Trench. You could take Mount Everest, drop it in there, and you'd still have more than a kilometer of water above its peak. It's just a profound reminder of how little of this world we've truly seen, and how much there is to lose.
So the real point is this: the ocean's darkest secret isn't an absence of life, it's the incredible abundance of it. It's a vibrant, alien world of ecosystems and creatures we are only just starting to wrap our heads around. And this world, unlike the ghosts of the past, is terrifyingly real, and it is in grave, grave danger.
And that brings us to the real horror story. This isn't about what might have happened 100 years ago. This is about what is happening right now, documented not in cryptic old logs, but in hard, scientific data. Just look at these. These ecosystems show what's really at stake. Vibrant, complex communities that are the very foundation of life in the sea. But they are facing a siege, not from some phantom storm, but from a very real wave of man-made destruction. These are the real monsters. We don't need legends to believe in them. Coral bleaching, driven by just a 1 degree Celsius rise in water temp, is turning these vibrant reefs into silent white graveyards. Ocean acidification is happening faster now than at any point in the last 300 million years, literally dissolving the shells of creatures at the very bottom of the food chain. And pollution. My God, researchers have found plastic fibers and industrial chemicals inside tiny crustaceans living in the Marianas Trench, the deepest place on Earth. These aren't phantom threats. They're the tangible horrors that should be keeping us up at night. And this just shows you how completely backwards our priorities can be. €1 trillion can be found for defense, for war machines. But when scientists are begging for funds to save the very ecosystems that produce the oxygen we breathe and regulate our climate, the response is too often just silence and delay. I mean, if we don't act, what will be left to defend?
But look, it's not all doom and gloom. There is hope. This is not a story of inevitable doom. All around the world, a new fight is starting. 11 nations have now pledged to protect the world's most climate-resilient coral reefs. Tanzania just created 2 massive new marine protected areas, safeguarding over 1,300 square kilometers of vital habitat. And in Greece, they're finally enacting new laws to protect deep-sea corals from destructive fishing. The fight has begun.
And this is why this matters to you. This is where you come in. Whether you're a diver, a scientist, or just someone who cares about the planet, we are the eyewitnesses to this modern story. We have the tools, the cameras, the social platforms to document what's really happening and share it with the world. We are the relief crew arriving at that silent lighthouse.
So maybe the ocean's darkest secret isn't some old mystery we need to solve, but a choice we have to make. The legends of the past are fascinating for sure, but the reality of the present demands action. The real question isn't what happened to those men on the Flennon Isles. The real question is, what will happen to our oceans if we fail to become the warriors they so desperately need right now?